speaking of facts, we have to talk about Rashida Tlaib and the anti-Semitism, the deep anti-Semitism and promotion of a terrorist philosophy that has crept into our Congress in the person of Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. She made these comments. I want to play the original comments she made on a podcast not that long ago. This is cut number 4.
You know, there's a kind of a calming feeling I always tell folks when I think of the Holocaust and the tragedy of the Holocaust and the fact that it was my ancestors, Palestinians, who lost their land and some lost their lives, their livelihood, their human dignity, their existence in many ways have been wiped out, and some people's passport. I mean, just all of it was in the name of trying to create a safe haven for Jews post the Holocaust, post the tragedy and horrific persecution of Jews across the world at that time. And I love the fact that it was my ancestors that provided that, right, in many ways. But they did it in a way that took their human dignity away, right? And it was forced on them. And so when I think about one state, I think about the fact that why couldn't we do it in a better way where, and I don't want people to do it in the name of Judaism, just like I don't want people to use Islam in that way. It has to be done in a way of values around equality and around the fact that you shouldn't oppress others.
So that is total crap. Now, she was attacked for that line about the calming. She gets a calming feeling when she thinks about the Holocaust. Now, of course, if a right-winger said that, he would be hanged. That would be CNN for the next 48 to 72 hours. But we're going to be more fair. It's obviously she wasn't saying that the Holocaust gave her a calming feeling. I won't even comment on that. I won't even make a joke about it. I don't think that was what she was saying. What she was saying was she got a calming feeling that it was her ancestors who provided a safe haven for the Jews, which she now wants to destroy by what she calls the one-state solution. Now, I had a one-state solution, which is give the entire Middle East to the Jews because they run things better than anybody else in the Middle East. But she's obviously not talking about that. She's probably talking about the kind of open democracy that would mean wiping the Jews and the state of Israel off the face of the map. Now, it is amazing to me. Was it Seth Meyers who had her on? Yes, it was Seth Meyers who had her on TV to let her explain herself. And again, just imagine if Donald Trump, who said there are good people on both sides of a statue controversy and was accused of saying he was in favor of Nazis. Nobody had him on to ask him about this. But Rashida Tlaib is immediately asked to go on Seth Meyers on late night TV because this is the wall against the facts that the Democrats have built. And God love them, they know a wall works. They want it everywhere but the border. They know a wall works and it will keep those facts out. So here's Seth Meyers letting her cover for herself, and listen to the emotionalism and the way she tries to wiggle out of what she's saying while still saying exactly what she's saying.
The tragedy of the Holocaust, the reason why Israel was created was to create a safe haven for Jews around the world. And there is something, like, in many ways beautiful about that. My ancestors, many had died or had to give up their livelihood, their human dignity to provide a safe haven for Jews in our world. And that is something I wanted to recognize and kind of honor in some sort of way. But I also think it's important because I want Palestinian people also to find some sort of, light in this kind of what's happening, but also, in the end, I said, I want all of us to feel safe. All of us deserve human dignity, no matter our backgrounds, no matter our ethnicity, no matter even our political opinions. We all deserve that kind of equality and justice. And, for me, I wanted to uplift that and bring that to light. And it was unfortunate. I got a text message from a friend who's like, hey, next time, really clarify, maybe talk like a fourth grader, because maybe the racist idiots would understand you better. So it's just, I will continue to speak truth to power and continue to uplift my grandmother.
Oh, man. What a snake. What an anti-Semitic snake. This is just garbage. It is just garbage. So let us turn to that bastion of facts, CNN, because John King, I have to give him credit, and Aaron David Miller got it exactly right and called her out. She's completely rewriting the history of that era, which is much more shameful to the Palestinians than it is to anybody else around.
So the Republican focus on the word calming does twist Congresswoman's words out of context. But she also fails a critical fact and context test. Yes, as she said, Palestinians lost land in the creation of Israel. But she ignored the fact that Palestinian leaders at the time allied themselves with Hitler. And the total war was how the Arab world reacted to the declaration of Israeli independence. Joining our conversation, our global affairs analyst and former State Department negotiator, Aaron David Miller, and CNN Sunland Sarfati. Aaron, let me start with you in the sense that she can't rewrite that history, and you can't project revisionist history, so why?
She also has her history wrong. I mean, on 2 points. Number one, it's an arguable proposition, even had there been no Holocaust. Most of the institutions of the current state of Israel were in place before Hitler started killing Jews. So the Holocaust added urgency and international support. But I suspect with or without it, the state of Israel would have come into being. And finally, on this notion that Palestinians either negatively or positively helped to create a safe haven for Jews, the reality is that the Arabs of Palestine, Haj Amin al-Husseini, the Grand Mufti, in Nazi Germany, collaborating, coordinating with the Nazis about what would happen if Rommel's Third Corps had actually been successful in Egypt and been present in Palestine. They were considering extermination of the entire Jewish community there as well.
So they were literally collaborating with the Jews, the Palestinian authorities. They were handing out Korans with swastikas on them. I mean, you know, this is the truth of that history. And that fact that Seth Meyers doesn't know enough to call her out on it or to speak up to it is part of this wall against the facts that the Democrats have built for themselves, and part of the thing that we have to climb over, the facts have to climb over, like the zombies in World War Z. Luckily, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she actually came out and had this to say about the entire controversy.
Don't you love when you go to like the nail salon or you go wherever and people try like pointing out all your insecurities and stuff? Like, I just went to the nail salon, okay? Just so I can feel human, nothing special, just trying to get some paint, cut my cuticles, whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm painting my nails, my nails are getting painted. And the woman's like, your eyebrows are too big for your face. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, and she's like, mustache? And I'm like, ah! I'm like, first of all, I thought I came here to feel good about myself. Second of all, what if I like my mustache? You ever think about that?
I love this woman. It's a gift that keeps on giving. That's kind of what it's like for her in Congress. You know, she goes in and they say, you know, you don't know anything about economics or the environment or foreign policy. And she says, I thought I came here to feel good about myself. Anyway, I feel so much safer knowing that she's in Congress. As I say, the Democrats are out there dealing with reality.